On September 11th, I had gone into the city with my daughter and my son, and my husband had stayed overnight to work the next duty at Rescue 1. So we went by the firehouse to see him before we went over to our appointment, and we had a little extra time, so he took the children and he put them on the fire truck, and then we all got back in the car. He went to each door and gave us each a kiss. Now he's 6'5". He actually could have just leaned over, but he went to each door and kissed each one of us. As we were going down our street, we hear this big airplane going overhead. And we thought, I said, oh, look at the big airplane, to my son, who was 1.5 at the time, and my daughter was 3.5. We started walking back to our continued to our appointment, and my son kind of hung back. And I said, what are you doing? And then I heard all the fire trucks. And I said, yeah, that's probably Daddy, but we have to go to our appointment. So we went up, and by the time we got upstairs, they were saying, oh my gosh, you don't know what happened. A plane went into a building. And so I said, I just saw that plane go overhead. And so we, from there, could see out the window the smoke and the side of the building. As we got bits and pieces of information that bridges were starting to close down and everything, I decided I need to get my children out of there. By the time I was driving back down 6th Avenue to go home, away from the building, traffic just froze. And I got out, and everyone was just looking, and I got out and turned around and watched as the building just slowly came down. My thought, because the first building had fallen, that maybe they had got all the firemen out. I know usually when there's structural damage, they get them out quite quickly, the firemen, but there was just so many, and their communications weren't working well that day. We waited a few days, and we didn't hear anything, and we were hoping that, okay, he's missing, and maybe there's a chance, but there was hardly anyone that survived. You would expect there'd be people here and there, but there was so few that survived. They never recovered Kenny's body or any part of his body, but we did recover part of his helmet. That was pretty special to have that piece. 10 years later, as I look back on everything that's happened to our country, to our nation, I think in the beginning and still to this day, Americans came together, and that was, if any positive could come out of it. I always thought that I wouldn't want any other parent, father, son, to have to, or children to lose their parent. I didn't want that to happen to anyone else. And I think so many have died fighting for this country, and I wish that could have been different.